Welcome, beautiful yogis. I'm going to start at the top of the mat today. So grounding your feet about hip width apart. Close your eyes, stand nice and tall. Open the palms to face forward. Draw your shoulders back. Lightly pressing your lips. Start to connect with your breath. Feel your tailbone reaching down towards the floor, which represents Mother Earth. So grounding, lengthening that spine. And feel the crown of your head reaching to the sky, to the heavens above. As you breathe, focus on joy and happiness and health entering your cells. And as you exhale, feel any stress and tension release. So really be mindful here as you stand in your own energy, drawing from the ground up. So 3 more breaths. And in your own time, open the eyes, new perspective. Bring your palms together up over your head. Good. Interlace your fingers so that you have a pistol grip. Tuck that tailbone under a little. Take a nice big deep breath in. Reach up even higher. As you exhale, reach to one side. A nice little extension. Breathe it in back to center. And exhale over to the other side. Good. Let's do that another couple more rounds. Breathe it in. Reach up. Breathe out. Lengthen. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lengthen. And last one, breathe it in, breathe it out. Inhale, back to center, and last side, exhale over. Bring it back to center, release those arms down. Let's do some shoulder rolls. So, warming up those joints, especially in the shoulders. You can do this with your elbows bent, depending what feels good for your shoulder mobility. And let's change directions. Lifting tall. Good. Release those arms down. Shake your hands out to release any energy. Good. Let's bring chin to chest. Roll the head to one shoulder. Roll back down to center, over to the other side. Good. So half swing or half circle like a pendulum. Breathe. Let your head be heavy. Good. Let's do one more each direction. And then slowly come back to center. Chin comes back to parallel. Good. All right, spread your toes nice and wide. Bring your palms together. Take a nice big deep breath in. You're going to sit back into your chair. Keep your knees forward. You want to be able to see your toes. Lift your chest up high. Keep your head nice and tall. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Sink a little deeper. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Maybe sink a little further. We're going to take 2 more breaths here. So getting core and legs fired up. The beginning of this practice. All right, release. Let's come into a forward fold. Keep your knees soft as your back and your legs start to warm up. So head reaching towards the floor, tailbone reaching high. Good. Enjoy that back release. Next inhale. Let's lift up halfway. Hands down the shin bones. Flatten your back. Belly in. Let's do another forward fold. Releasing down. So stretching spine and halfway lift. Breathe it in. And one more forward fold. Halfway lift. Breathe it in. Bring your hands down onto the mat. Step back into your plank. Hold your plank. Now, if you need to modify, you can always start from your knees if that feels better for you as you build up your strength. Otherwise, lift your knees and press your heels away. Keep the head forward, shoulders relaxed. We're going to stay with firing up the core this morning. So in your own time, flip your feet to the edges of the mat and take your arm to the sky. Make sure your hand is directly underneath your shoulder, lifting those hips tall. Either look to the floor, look straight ahead, or up towards the reaching hand. One more breath. And release back down. Let's do the other side. Flip onto the edges of your feet. Reach up high and lengthen. Press the hips to the ceiling. One more breath here. And release down. Good. Let's bring chest down onto the floor. Elbows in. Open up into your cobra. Breathe it in. Look over one shoulder. As far around as you can go. And up and over to the other side. Back to center. Exhale. Down dog. Now, it being the first downward facing dog of the practice, feel free to play around here. So maybe walk your feet in place, stretching through one leg at a time. It's a nice way to feel the difference between left and right. Sometimes we don't realize. Look underneath each armpit, stretching out your neck muscles. Good. Come back to center, strong through those hands. On your next breath in, rise up onto the tippy toes. As you exhale, press the heels down. Breathe in, let's rise up again. Exhale, pressing down. One more. Lift up high. And exhale, lower the heels down. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees. We're going to step the right foot between your hands. Drop the back knee down. Okay, we're going to come up. So shoulders over your hips. So when you're in your lunge, be mindful not to push your hips back. You want to feel that extension in the front of your hip thigh region. We're going to bring arms up over the head. Now, if you feel the shoulder pain, this is where you're going to modify. You can drop the elbows down. You can bring your hands to your heart center, or if you prefer, hands onto the hips. And when you have your hands onto your hips, you start to notice if you're twisting. So that's a nice little gauge to begin with. Otherwise, if you feel comfortable, reach your arms to the sky and drop those hips forward. Maybe take your gaze upwards. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. 2 more breaths. Inhale, hands back to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Lengthen through those heels. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Let's step left foot forward. Drop the back knee down. Take your time. Bring your chest upwards. Tuck that tailbone under. And arms in whichever variation feels good for you. I was going to say this morning, depending on when you're watching this. So raising the gaze up if you like a little bit more of a challenge. Otherwise, keep your gaze straight, or alternatively, looking to the floor will help you with your balance. So keep that in mind in any of your practices. Good. Inhale, hands to the mat. Back into downward facing dog. One more breath. Look forward, step your feet towards the front of the mat. Once you're there, exhale, fold. Take your arms wide. We come up with a flat back. Big deep breath in. Reach it up tall, palms together. Exhale, release, hands down. Take your feet slightly apart. We're going to do one more chair pose. This time, option 1, as we did earlier, palms together. Or option 2, you're going to bring your arms in about a 45-degree angle. I like to turn the palms upwards because this helps to open up your shoulders. So choose your variation. Take a nice big deep breath in. As you exhale, sit back into your chair. Lengthen your spine. Continue to breathe. Good. Let's take one more breath here. And inhale, release. Exhale, forward fold, halfway lift. Big deep breath in, and then hands to the mat, back into plank. We hold the plank again, elbows strong, hands nice and firmly pressing into the floor. Let's turn the edges of the feet to the side, open up. Now if you'd like a little bit more of a spice, reach the arm forward, so bicep to ear. Be mindful not to collapse your hips, so lift up. And release the hands down. Let's turn the other direction, twist open. Breathe, either reaching up high or extending. And hands to the mat. Now bring the entire body down. Keep those elbows in. Let's lift up. Shoulders away from the ears. Look over one shoulder. And over to the other side. Back to center, strong. Downward facing dog. Sounds a little bit like Jurassic Park here this morning. Cockatoos screaming. I swear Australia's not that wild. It just sounds like it is. Okay, we're gonna come into our low lunge a little differently this round. So on your next inhale, you take your right leg to the sky. Press the left heel down as you do this. So right toes lifting, left heel pressing down, and strong through those arms. One more breath. And big step through. Drop the back knee down. And again, choose your variation with your arms. Remember to drop those hips forward. And relax your shoulders. Maybe take your gaze upwards. One more breath. Hands to the mat. Strong press up. Downward facing dog. Let's do the left side. Inhale, left leg reaches high, pressing the right heel down. And you'll get a good stretch through the back of that right calf and hamstring. Keep lifting that left leg up. And big step through. Drop the back knee down and take your time. Come up into your lunge. Breathe. As your hips start to loosen up, you'll find stepping the foot through, especially in your lunges, will become easier. And also helping to strengthen those hip muscles will benefit you in flexibility. So the two need to work together. Inhale, when you're ready, hands back to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Let your head hang, try and look to the back of your mat. Next inhale, look forward, let's step the feet towards the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Again, take your arms wide, big deep breath in, reach it up high, palms together. Exhale, release, hands down by your side. Well done. Okay, let's go into some hip circles. These can get quite tight just from sitting down so much. So 5 to 7 circles each way. You can also move the hips in bigger circles, smaller circles, whatever works for you. Once you complete your hip circles, bring your feet closer together, rising up and down through the balls of your feet. So keep the shoulders relaxed. Now I've got my hands onto the hips, but you can have them down, it doesn't matter. Sit nice and tall. Use the big toes as much as you can. And once you complete about 10, the more the better. If you don't lose your balance. Okay, and then let's go into your ankle rolls. About 5 to 7 circles each way. Get simple movements, very effective over time. And with the ankle rolls, this is great for coordination. So wiring up and firing up the brain. And those neural pathways, always new ones being created. Okay, I'm a little bit distracted by the view today. It's quite a nice one. Okay, so let's take our feet wide. So if you reach your arms out, maybe the width of that, nothing too crazy. So keeping your feet tracking forward, tuck your bum under, so contract your buttocks, big deep breath in. As you exhale, take your right hand over to the left leg. Now it could be the knee, the shin bone, the ankle, or the foot. Twist open, looking towards that left hand. If there's any pulling in the back of the knees, slightly bend them. Breathe. And when you're ready, inhale, come back up slowly to center. And exhale over to the other side, twisting open. Breathe. Next inhale, bring it back up. Let's do one more round each side. So when you're ready, exhale, twist. Should feel a little easier second round. Keep the spine long. And deepen the breath. This will help with the tension that you feel in a spinal twist. Good. One more breath here. And then inhale, reach it back up. Nice strong back. And last one, as you exhale, twist to the other side. Open up. Keep the spine long. And as much as you might feel you want to collapse, press away from the floor. One more breath. And inhale, come back up. Exhale, release those arms. Keep your feet where they are. Let's do a few shoulder rolls, 2 to 3. Each direction. And we're going to do one more of our neck sways as we did earlier. So from just one side over to the other. Good. All right, a couple more. And as you do this, be mindful not to clench your teeth, which can be quite a common thing to do. Okay, once you're done, about even amount of times each direction, we're going to do some warrior twos. So feet should be wide enough to feel strong. Turn your left foot out to the side. Open the arms wide. Now, if there's any shoulder pain, what I find is flipping the palms up actually helps with that shoulder discomfort until you get stronger. So arms are lengthening, bend into your left knee, and maybe push your back heel away a little further. Look over your left hand and draw the belly in. Breathe. Maybe sink a little deeper. Drop your back hand down, flip the left palm up. We're going to reverse the warrior. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Take one more breath here. And then come into your side angle. So rest the forearm just to start with and extend your right arm forward. So extended side angle. Long through those fingertips. Let's reverse it back one more time. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, lengthen back. Breathe. That's okay. All good. All right, and release, forward folds. Reaching and extending those fingertips. Breathe. Okay, let's do one more round. So reverse, extending, breathe. Bending into the left knee. All right, and last, extended side angle. Twist open the right side of the body. Excellent. Inhale, come back up. Release those arms, straighten your legs. Let's turn the other way. Okay, so when you're ready, staying open the arms out again, bend into your warrior. Now with these classes, you can make them as challenging as you like, so you can go deeper into the pose. You can hold them for a longer time, which helps to build muscle stamina. And there's always multiple variations. That's it. I like to teach in a way that is hopefully available to most levels. And from there on, you can make it easier or you can make it more challenging. Okay, let's reverse that warrior. Flip the left palm down, reach the right hand up and back. Breathe. And release. Come into your extended side angle. So as you rest the forearm, it is a very light rest. You're not collapsing down. So lifting and lengthening. Getting right down into your ribs. Right, open up, reverse that warrior. Reach it up and back. Bend. And come into your extended side angle again. Reach those fingertips, twist open. Breathe. Okay, last one. Right, reverse it back. Strong through those legs. Strong through your feet. And last one, extended side angle. Really extend open. Maybe look towards the ceiling or the sky in my view. One more breath. Reach, reach, reach. And then inhale, come back up. Relax those arms, straighten those legs. Turn your feet forward. Step or jump your feet close together and shake them both out. Good. Okay, I call these helicopters. So keep your knees bent. Wave your arms around. Now it's the tapping of the body that is what we're looking for the most, because that helps with your lymphatic system. There's a guy that I love online. His name's Michael Chang, and he just shows all these simple but effective techniques, just tapping the body all the way around. It really helps to get blood flowing, lymph moving, especially if you hold a lot of inflammation in the body. Okay, so arms should be floppy. You can make this more gentle or you can make it more active. And your knees are soft, so we're not twisting too much through the joints of the knees. Okay, let's bring ourselves back to center slowly. Nice work. Okay, we're gonna stay standing for now. So come back to the front of your mat. Hands to heart center, like we did earlier with your chair pose. Big deep breath in, tuck that tailbone under. Sit back into your chair. Now, bring those arms again, 45 degrees, palms face up. Option 1 is to stay exactly with your feet flat. Option 2 is you're gonna rise up onto the balls of your feet, challenging you more a little bit through the legs, the balance and the focus. See if you can sit back a little lower for 2 more breaths. Good. And once you're done, release those feet down, forward fold. Let's take one more breath here in your Uttanasana. Good. Halfway lift, so strengthen the back, activate your core. Now, this time, when you bring your fingertips onto the mat, you're going to keep your right leg forward. Take your left leg back to a place where the foot stays flat. So if you're feeling you're here but the heel's lifting, bring the foot closer in. So we want the legs as straight as possible. Now, swing your hips back in line with the back of your mat. So your head and tailbone are in a straight line. This is pyramid pose. And we're going to lengthen the spine down. Now I've realized I've taken you straight into a deeper variation. So if that is too much for you, bring your hands onto the shin bone. So rather than you rounding your back, you lengthen the spine and you come into a position or a level that you're able to hold, you're able to still breathe, and you can feel a good stretch here. 2 more breaths. Left hand will either stay on the mat, either fingertips or flat palm, or bring the left hand onto the shin bone, lift your body halfway up, push your right glute back, and now twist to your right. Revolve triangle pose. Keep looking to the floor for better balance, or if you're a little bit more advanced, look out to the right or look up to your right hand. Remember, your feet are grounded. Keep the spine long. One more breath. Nice work. Slowly release. Okay, fingertips back onto the mat. And let's step forward. Forward fold. Take your arms wide. Big deep breath in. Palms together. And exhale, release down. Okay, we're going to do one more round. So palms again to start with. Big deep breath in. Sit back into your chair. Swoop the arms up as an option. An option second variation is to lift the heels up. Lower the hips. Keep the chest tall. One more breath. And heels come down and body comes down. Forward fold. Nice work. Halfway lift. Breathe it in. So fingertips onto the mat. Step your right leg back just to a place where you can ground the heel and swing your hips back to the right. If your feet are in a straight line, you're going to find your balance really hard to maintain. So I always like to say your feet are about hip width apart, maybe a little bit further. So stay here in your forward fold. Again, you choose where your hands go. Keys to lengthen your spine. Above all else, your breath needs to be maintained. Two more breaths here. And now we're going to lift the body halfway. Either right hand stays down or bring it onto the shin bone. Lift the chest and twist open. Again, either look to the floor, look to the left, or look to the sky or to your hand. You want to be able to breathe enough to feel the belly. If you're too much in the shoulders and the collarbones, you're not quite getting the depth of breath that is needed. Keep holding your pose. And strong feet will help you to balance here. The grounded feet. Two more breaths. And once you're done, lower down, fingertips back onto the mat. One more, bending your left knee, step your right foot to join. Exhale, forward fold. We're not going to come all the way up this time. So halfway lift, breathing in, nice strong back. Bring your hands onto the mat. We're going to step back into plank. We're going to do one more chaturanga. Take your hands for your cobra, take your hands a little further forward, keep them shoulder width apart. Take your legs as wide as your mat and lift up into cobra. If you would like a little bit more back support, take your hands further away. We're going to hold here. Nice front of the body extension, and you might feel a nice good stretch in the back of the body. Deepen the breath. If you start to feel things opening up, maybe bring the hands closer in. Again, always go by what you feel best. If you've collapsed into your arms and your shoulders, drop them down. Two more breaths. Well done. All right, gently release. We're going to go into a nice child's pose to balance out that back bend. Just make sure your head is resting. If it's not on the mat, then maybe onto your hands. And just rest here. Find a position, feel your way into a position that feels good for you. When you first start yoga, it's all awkward. You don't know how things are meant to feel. You don't know what the right position's meant to be. it all eventually comes into how it feels in your body. So it's foreign. So we're creating new muscle memory. So with this pose here, child's pose is technically a resting pose. So we don't want your arms or your back tensing. You want to be in a position where you can actually let go. That's why the unwind classes that I teach are really great, just to help you settle, because everything is a little bit slower. And we hold poses for a little longer as well. This is great to help settle a busy mind. This pose right here. And in time, if you hold this long enough, you'll start to feel your back muscles begin to release. All right, one more breath. Now, if your feet and ankles are really tight, then we need to work on that, because this is not going to feel comfortable if that's the case. All right, let's roll it up. Let's bring the legs out in front. We are almost there. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, just shake those legs out, up, down, side to side. So try and get as much movement through your hips. So it's one thing just to wave the feet, but once you really get the legs moving, you'll start to feel the ball in that socket, which is your hip socket, really get to move around. Okay, so let's ground the feet. Your hands, which way they face will just depend on what feels good for your wrists and your shoulders. So if you're here and this is really hurting your wrists, then come maybe forward or sideways. I'm not too fussed about that, and don't be too worried about it either. The key is to, push the chest forward, open up the shoulders back, and hold that position. This is where we're going to stay for round one. Breathe. Maybe draw the head back in line with your spine. Maybe look forward if there's any neck tension, or otherwise you can take your gaze slightly up. Not all the way back, just slightly up. Keep pushing the chest forward, shoulders back. One more breath. And gently release. Okay, soles of the feet together for your butterflies, active butterflies. So lifting nice and tall. And again, with this one here, if your feet are really close and you're not able to lift the knees up and down, you're rounding your back, take your feet further away so you have some movement. And then as things start to loosen up, the feet can come closer. Work with your body. I see it all too often that we just want to get there, and that actually creates more resistance. I get it, I've been there, and I still do it at times, so I'm reaffirming to myself here as well. Okay. Now, second round is going to be a little bit different. We're going to lift our hips up. So again, shoulders are going to draw back, hands are nice and firm. Push your chest forward and up. Now this time, as you breathe in, you're going to contract your buttocks. As you exhale, swing those hips up. Okay, so it doesn't matter if your hips are here, just keep lifting and lengthening. We are activating and strengthening the back of the body. Press the floor away from you. Hold here. If you feel this mainly in your knees, bring your feet under your underneath, under your knees. Oh, good Lord. 3 more breaths, you can do this. Lift, keep pressing, strong. And lower onto your back gently. Well done. Knees to chest. Hug them in. Gently rock side to side. Nice work. All right, let's keep a hold of your right knee to your chest. Extend your left leg all the way down. Left hand onto the outside of your right leg. Open out your right arm to the side. As you exhale, take the knee across your spinal twist. Turn your head back towards your right hand. And breathe. It's a gentle spinal twist as we finish off your practice today. Inhale, slowly back to center. Hug it in. And exhale, release down. Good. Last round. Left knee hugs in. Oh, let me just get back onto the mat a little bit more. Okay, left knee hugs in. With your right hand, you're going to take it across, open the left arm out. I like to have the palm face up because it helps to open up my shoulder, but if you have tight shoulders, you might prefer palm face down. Deep breath. So that revolved triangle pose earlier is quite a deep pose. So if you felt a little wobbly, if you felt really challenged by it, just be patient. That is quite a challenging pose. For its balance, for the depth of stretch that you get in that. And there's a lot of areas worked. Okay, 2 more breaths here. And once you feel ready, come back to center. Hug your left knee in and release it back down. All right, shake out any remaining tension. Arms, legs. Relax down comfortably onto your mats. Close your eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then let your body settle. Now, as we always do with every practice, you can stay here for as long as you like. You can pause or stop the video and stay in Shavasana for as long as you need to. Otherwise, just try and make it a point to stay here for a good 5 breaths, 5 to 7 breaths, to ground your energy from your practice, to really listen to your body and to your energy. And if you're beginning your day, just set your intention. All is well, I'm healthy, all is working in my favor. Whatever it is, what kind of day you want ahead, set that intention. And if it's at the end of the day that you're doing this practice, just allow all of that yang energy from the day to be released.